I want everybody to give the formidable woman behind this whole campaign and who's going to share her vision to you. That's Baroness Uddin.
Assalamu alaikum. His Excellency, I just want to record my gratitude and thanks to him. It would not have been possible, but more importantly, Akbar, I want to say a really heartfelt gratitude for leading us to this moment, only because I think, you can see the passion and the reverence and the power and energy that all of us can create together. And I'm so delighted Her Excellency, the Honorable Chairperson, has also bestowed the pleasure of sharing this time with us. Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Just a couple of words about kind of my own small background, which is like, it's almost half a century since I've arrived in Britain. And I think that the narrative with which I arrived in Britain is a common to many, many hundreds and hundreds of millions. Each of us came to Britain or have gone to another parts of the country for our own circumstances, whether it was wars, conflicts, or simply because destiny brought us, or that we were looking to better our lives and our children's lives. And I think that it's been said, and I was so touched by how Humaira, Saba, Shavana, Husna described their experience. It's just so profound for me, because I think as a migrant to this country or any countries, you grapple with a multiple set of complex experiences, and most difficult of which is that you uproot your family and then you come to an unknown land. But I've always believed this, when people say, oh, these deprived communities or these poor women, I've always resisted this since I can't remember when. I think I've always resisted it since I've arrived the very, very first day in London, because I think that these kind of journeys take a huge courage. It's not for the faint-hearted who makes a journey to another land to make their home. So I think that, this is what I want to say, that reflecting on this is what I think in essence Change the Script was and is, and I'm confident is going to be. It should reflect the pride with which we all stand together collectively. And of course, it would be remiss of me not to say that we are on the verge of another crossroad in global politics. I don't know where it's going to lead us, but almost it's for the first time, I feel quite confident actually that there is a very natural, organic movement within different sections of our communities which can really stand on their own account, and then they can recount their own experiences and reclaim their own leadership amongst everything whether it's in this institution, whether it's in outside, whether it's in their lives, because it has been too long since, that many of us have not been counted. And I think that we have that confidence, and I felt that for the last particularly 2.5 years. About 35 years when I visited Costa Rica, and I saw a book. There was this beautiful book, binded book, which talked about feminists of the world. And it enveloped many, many facets about women's lives. And it listed every single countries of the world. And it talked about all the problems that women have. So there, the birth rate, death rate, the violence, the wars, the conflict, and the total absence of women in political and social structure. And I, having sort of come from a family which was absolutely, there was no-go areas for women, having come from a place where I can say that my mother, my grandmother, my grandfathers were outstanding mentors and teachers, I always thought, what about women like me? You know, what about, where are we in that narrative? And then, of course, I went to East London with this really bog standard, outrageous self-confidence, you know, saying, you know, like, not see me, but I am who I am. And, you know, I have a place in this society, and I can also make the changes. I can also lead other people. And there was always this innate confidence that came. And then to encounter, and I tell you, Humaira is, you know, has been a long standing friend and sister. Meeting women like her, and then of course meeting women like Khalida Khan, who's not here, and I'm going to roll call some women, and you will forgive me, but there are women like Shaheen Taz, obviously Savannah Taz, Mrs. Aisha Ahmed, Zareen Ruhi, Hasina Zaman, Nadira Usmani, who's here, Poli Islam, Alma Haq, who's not here, Siddiqa Juma, I don't know whether she's here, Sharifa Latusi, Rohima, Mia, Sadia Ahmed, Nazma Hafiz, Ashraf Molam, Farah Azam. And I can tell you, I can actually literally list every single woman. Dilara Khan is there. These are the women who've shaped every aspect of different parts of the country. But more importantly, we've also walked this journey with some amazing men, and they've been with us. And I have to say, again, I'll roll call them, you know, like Fuad Nadi, Saib Ahmed, who's here. Zakir Khan has been amazing. Dr. Ahmed Dubian, I don't think that he's made it. And Shahid Malik, who's the former minister. There have been amazing numbers of outstanding men. And I have to say here also, I'm really delighted to say Dr. Makhdoom is here from the Muslim World League, and Fawzia Saeed, who is here, who's one of our commissioners. So I want to say that these are the women and men who have shaped some of the narratives that we're putting, you know, before you. They're not my own. They're completely, entirely at the disposal and at the pleasure of the women who are shaping the forum.
Special tribute to the distinguished ambassador of the United Arab Emirates for also honoring us with his presence. And of course, the United Arab Emirates has taken leadership on these issues and has also been helping financially, because it takes money and it takes merit. It takes M&M, not to be confused by the famous candy, okay? But that's what it is. It's money and merit. Welcome to the Cyprus home. We never say house, we always say home, because home, it is where we all belong. We're all stakeholders, we're all family. Sometimes the family can be dysfunctional, but it's still family, okay? And where there is warmth. A house is just a building. So welcome to the Cyprus home. We are also a multi-ethnic and multi-religious country. We welcome the initiative to #change the script. For all of you now in Twitter land, feel free to tweet away until your finger gets very, very tired, promoting this event, which is the raising of the curtain now that we have CHOGM, which started today. Change the Script is an open, as all of you know, is an open platform led by and for Muslim women to celebrate the rich cultural diversity and achievements. It is with great joy that we are hosting this event, and it's a great delight. It is a script and a narrative that we all know too well, which has been an obstacle and still is for not just Muslim women, but for almost half, if not more, of our world population. Women, like men, want to pursue their goals and dreams, but are hindered in doing so by stereotypes and gender hierarchy. We wholeheartedly agree with the core of this campaign: empowerment, inspiration, and progress for women.
Thank you to His Excellency, the High Commissioner for Cyprus, and also Baroness Udin and all her collaborators. I have very little to say because, as has been introduced, our chairperson, the Honourable Emilia Lafaka, who is the chairperson of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association International and also the Deputy Speaker of the Assembly of Cameroon, is with us, amongst other important members of the CPA. And I'm going to ask her to make a few comments with regard to our support for this event. But I do want to recognise His Excellency, the High Commissioner for Cyprus. I have sat in this room on many occasions to listen to very distinguished speakers talk about our Commonwealth. And it is His Excellency who's provided, as he said, a home for that discourse. And when we approached him, with Baroness Uden and myself, in order to host this side event, where, as you can imagine, with CHOGM this week, there are many side events going on and there is a real demand for a space. It was His Excellency who opened his home to all of us. So I want to thank him and ask you to join me in expressing our sincere support and kindness for everything that he has done, because without him we wouldn't be here. But without further ado, I also want to pay tribute to Baroness Uden, because without her leadership, again, we wouldn't be here. She has given voice to all the unsung heroines and to all of the community workers and the women who are very much part of our Commonwealth and who need to be recognised and celebrated as part of this project. So again, I'd ask you to join me in recognising her contribution and her continuing programme of change for transformation.
Thank you, Excellency. With those very warm remarks, welcome remarks from you, I think all of us here are already feeling at home, away from home. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, in the spirit of Her Majesty's message, let us commit to working together towards building a common future in the Commonwealth, which is more inclusive and fairer for everyone and which leaves no one behind. Today we are ready to change the script. Thank you.
All underrepresented communities need to be heard. And by encouraging women to tell their stories in their own words, it helps to counter a conventional stereotype of the Muslim woman. Muslim women, as we know, are not homogenous. They have multifaceted identities and come from all walks of life and background. And Change the Script is here to celebrate that. And to kickstart this, we're going to hear from some women and their stories today.
Good morning. Your Excellency, Excellencies, Secretary General, Baroness Uden, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great privilege for me to be here today, showcasing the newly established National Commission for Muslim Women. But what I want to say is, before I say a little bit more about the project, is that it is a universal truth that everybody has something to say about Muslim women. There are those who want to save us, there are those who want to hurt us, there are those who want to limit us, and there are those who want to misrepresent us. We are scrutinized, victimized, and vulgarized. The way you see us will depend through which lens you choose to look from and where you choose to get your information. But regardless of the lens through which you look, plus all the smoke screens that come in the way, we know who we are. We are the ones who are the foundational pillars of our families and communities. We are the enablers of our vibrant cultures, the safeguarders of our heritage, the genius behind our cuisine, the colors behind our artistry, the style behind our fashion, the sacrifice behind our philanthropy, the strength behind our resilience, the compassion behind our concern for the planet, our dedication to our professions. We come from all nationalities, all social classes, all races, speak all languages. We are the same, we are different, we agree, we disagree, we change our minds, and we stay the same. We are multidimensional, multifaceted, and most importantly, we are excellent at multitasking.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and good morning. Excellencies, High Commissioner, my dear Baroness Uden. I've been asked to talk about my personal story. I'm from Bangladesh, came here at the age of 4, got married to this young man who's sitting at the back right now when I was 16. And we have 6 children. We have 4 grandchildren and another grandchild on the way. 3 boys and 3 girls. I think in terms of the work that I do, it's been very much particularly, after 9/11 when, we realized that we really need to build bridges between the faith communities. So, I've worked in a UK charity for many years. That resulted in myself getting an OBE from the Queen for services to disadvantaged communities, because we managed to get many people into jobs, which is, I think, one of the key things. Now I'm running an international NGO called Global One. It's a Muslim women-led, and it's a women's organization. And what we're really trying to do is, what, for instance, Humaira was talking about empowerment, empowerment of women, but in a way which is not just about dialogue. It's actually about giving them the tools to be able to have their livelihoods and to be able to, form networks and cooperatives, etc., where they can actually work and move forward. And I think, we're working with the Syrian refugees and the Rohingya refugees particularly, and there's faith sensitivity, something that many people don't recognize. And as Muslim women, that is something that we're very conscious of. So trying to be able to produce resources, which really recognize the faith sensitivities of Muslim women particularly, is something that's quite vital. So, next week we'll be launching the Menstrual Hygiene Management and Islam Toolkit, for instance, which is something that's, quite imperative. So for me, the only things that I can say that I've learned on my journey is that I feel resilience, hope, determination, and I say this to my children all the time, just get on with it.
A big thank you to Paula and her team for inviting me here today to say a few words at this fabulous event. So I think it's obviously, the whole program is really about writing your script, changing your script. So I thought that I should say a few words about who I am. To be clear, I don't come from a privileged background. My parents weren't academics, they weren't doctors, they weren't lawyers. But, and of course education wasn't an automatic right or a journey, and opportunities weren't easy to come by. And yes, during my younger years, I did rebel against the system, as we say, within our own Asian families, but also the wider white structural systems that we all work and operate within. But, and there's also always a but, I soon realized that in order for things to change for the better, I needed to fight. And I needed to challenge both the patriarchal and cultural structures, whilst at the same time demanding a space and change in institutional societal structures that, as I say, are often white, male, highly biased, and more often than not discriminatory. My life experiences and my intrinsic Muslim faith for wanting to spend my time on this earth to, to improve life chances for others, for being a part of a collective, creating a society for the many and not the few, are the main reasons why I'm a trade unionist. That, as well as my own father, who was a steel worker in the Welsh Valleys and a proud union man himself.
I am Farah Azem. I'm an artist, an illustrator and a designer. I'm also a mother to 2 boys.
I'm Councillor Aisha Raza. I'm from Ealing.
Hi, I'm Rashid Mogradia, the CEO of the Council of British Hajis.
Hi, I'm Saba Zaman. By day, I'm a broadcast journalist.
My name's Nadira Huda. Until recently, I worked for a local authority as a social worker in child protection. I've since left and I'm now working as an independent social worker.
My name is Hasina Zaman and I am the CEO of Compassionate Funerals. We're funeral directors based in East London and we serve the diverse community.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rakia Ismail. I'm a local councillor in Islington and a community activist.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Dr. Husna Ahmed and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Global One, which is an international NGO, Muslim women-led international NGO. And I'm also a Commissioner for the National Commission on Muslim Women.
My name is Humaira Khan and I'm a trustee of an organisation called An-Nisa Society, and I'm also a trustee of the National Commission for Muslim Women.
I'm supporting this campaign because I'm fed up of the images of Muslim women in the media. I think in my work, I've met many Muslim women who don't fit the stereotypes and narrative that's given to them. I've met women who, just ordinary women who struggle, but still are able to care for their children. I've met single Muslim women who don't speak English, but they have children who are doctors. So, you know, this image that we have, that we're all oppressed, I don't buy it. So that's why it's important to get behind this campaign.
Well, what I would like to see much more Muslim women in public role, in political role, within the business sector, but not for Muslim communities, but for the whole communities, where they're really where Muslim women are really standing their place, taking their position, and that's what, so in the mainstream, that's what I would like to see.
I think women empowerment is the key to success to every woman, to society in general, to bringing up children. You know, if a woman is confident, if a woman is making decisions for her family, sharing life with her husband and have a shared life, I think that's what women empowerment. There's so many women out there who are quite radical as well, and you know, in terms of women rights. And I think those women are really great. I take my hands off to them. But there is another story to that. And that story is simply that women, unless she is financially independent, she's no good to society, she's no good to herself, because she is going to depend on her brother, her dad, her husband. And she's always going to be financially, emotionally, she's going to be psychologically, she's going to be held back. But when woman is independent, making decisions, she's bringing also up the next generation. That, for me, is women empowerment. And financial independence for women is a key to success in life.
I think women have our rights, we just don't know how to ask for them. So, yeah, there's a lot of rights that we already have that we just don't do anything about. And I think that, yes, a lot could be done with, I think, with the Me Too movement, and there's a lot of things that are coming to the fore now. It's a very interesting time for feminism. It's a very interesting time politically and socially. All sorts of things are changing and moving. The parameters are moving very fast. So to keep up with that, we need Muslim women's voices in there, because they actually have a lot to bring.
You know, having the narrative of Muslim women's lives and their stories coming from Muslim women themselves is a wonderful thing, and I think it will contribute it will be a vital contribution to British society, inshallah.
Just to say, even the word empowerment is quite loaded, right? What does that mean? And it depends on where you're standing, what you understand by it. Is it something aggressively, aggressively sort of projecting a sort of a women's thing? Or is it trying to liberate women who see themselves as victims? What is it? What do we mean by empowerment? For me, what it means is that it's women finding the space to be true to ourselves, to harness the potential of what we already know about ourselves, and to use that to move forward, to literally to change the script and to contribute constructively to the ever-changing world that we live in. And I think that we have we've got a lot to offer about, I think, what we're best at. We're best at bringing things together. We're good at healing. We're good at supporting people. We're good at saying, okay, it's not just about us, it's about the bigger picture. So, and I think that this is what Women offers, is that we bring our strength and we bring our vision for a better kind of world that we want to live in.
To be part of it. The way we change the mainstream views is to be part of it, to have your voice heard, whether that's in politics, in your careers, in your academia, in your jobs, in your homes. Be part of it. And education, our mothers are the ones who educate us. We are going to be the ones who educate the next generation. We have a responsibility to leave a legacy behind, because once we're gone, that legacy needs to continue, and it has to be self-sustaining.